Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A team that plays football. The cardinal number that is the sum of 10 and 1. Being one more than 10. A team that plays football. The cardinal number that is the sum of 10 and 1. Being one more than 10. The cardinal number that is the sum of 10 and 1. Being one more than 10. The 14th letter of the Greek alphabet. Crested thick-billed North American finch having bright red plumage in the male. The number of elements in a mathematical set denotes a quantity but not the order. A variable color averaging a vivid red. Serving as an essential component. A cardinal rule. Being or denoting a numerical quantity but not order. Cardinal numbers. Roman Catholic Church, one of a group of more than 100 prominent bishops in the Sacred College who advise the Pope and elect new popes. Form a team. We teamed up for this new project. A cooperative unit, especially in sports. Two or more draft animals that work together to pull something. A cooperative unit, especially in sports. A small squad of policemen trained to deal with a particular kind of crime. A smallest army unit. An integer equal to or greater than 10. A league of football teams. A piece of cloth that is left over after the rest has been used or sold. Bring to an end or halt. She ended their friendship when she found out that he had once been convicted of a crime. Be the end of. Be the last or concluding part of. This sad scene ended the movie. The state of affairs that a plan is intended to achieve and that, when achieved, terminates behavior intended to achieve it. The ends justify the means. The last section of a communication. The point in time at which something ends. The end of the year. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. My property ends by the bushes. The final stage or concluding parts of an event or occurrence. The end was exciting. A final state. He came to a bad end. Either extremity of something that has length. The end of the pier. A boundary marking the extremities of something. The end of town. A final part or section. We have given it at the end of the section since it involves the calculus. American football. A position on the line of scrimmage. No one wanted to play end. Football. The person who plays at one end of the line of scrimmage. The end managed to hold on to the pass. One of two places from which people are communicating to each other. The phone rang at the other end. Put an end to. The terrible news ended our hopes that he had survived. The part you were expected to play. He held up his end. The surface at either extremity of a three-dimensional object. One end of the box was marked, this side up. Football. The person who plays quarterback. American football. The position of the football player in the backfield who directs the offensive play of his team. American football, an offensive position in the backfield. Football, the running back who plays the fullback position on the offensive team. Play the fullback. A device designed to prevent injury or accidents. The duty of serving as a sentry. He was on guard that night. A precautionary measure warding off impending danger or damage or injury, etc. An insurance policy as a good safeguard. Watch over or shield from danger or harm, protect. Guard my possessions while I'm away. Protect against a challenge or attack. American football, a position on the line of scrimmage. Guards must be good blockers. A military unit serving to protect some place or person. A person who keeps watch over something or someone. A position on a basketball team. A posture of defense in boxing or fencing. Keep your guard up. Take precautions in order to avoid some unwanted consequence. Guard against becoming too friendly with the staff. The person who plays that position on a football team. The left guard was injured on the play. The person who plays the position of guard on a basketball team. To keep watch over. There would be men guarding the horses. American football, an offensive back usually positioned behind the quarterback and to the side of the fullback. Football, the running back who plays the offensive halfback position. A defensive football player who takes a position close behind the lineman. American football, the position of a defensive football player who plays close behind the line of scrimmage. A defensive football player who takes a position close behind the lineman. American football, the position of a defensive football player who plays close behind the line of scrimmage. The football players who line up on the line of scrimmage. Football, the person who plays quarterback. American football, the position of the football player in the backfield who directs the offensive play of his team. Quarterback is the most important position on the team. Play the quarterback. Coil such that current is induced in it by passing a current through the primary coil. Inferior in rank or status. Being of second rank or importance or value, not direct or immediate. The stone will be hauled to a secondary crusher. Belonging to a lower class or rank. Depending on or incidental to what is original or primary. A secondary infection. Not of major importance. Played a secondary role in world events. The defensive football players who line up behind the lineman. Football, the person who plays quarterback. American football, the position of the football player in the backfield who directs the offensive play of his team. The offensive football players who line up behind the lineman. A building dedicated to a particular activity. They were raising money to build a new center for research. The object upon which interest and attention focuses. His stories made him the center of the party. Direct one's attention on something. Move into the center. That vase in the picture is not centered. A cluster of nerve cells governing a specific bodily process. In most people, the speech center is in the left hemisphere. The sweet central portion of a piece of candy that is enclosed in chocolate or some other covering. mercantile establishment consisting of a carefully landscaped complex of shops representing leading merchandisers. Usually includes restaurants and a convenient parking area, a modern version of the traditional marketplace. Equally distant from the extremes. A place where some particular activity is concentrated. They received messages from several centers. Football. The person who plays center on the line of scrimmage and snaps the ball to the quarterback. The center fumbled the handoff. A point equidistant from the ends of a line or the extremities of a figure. An area that is approximately central within some larger region. It is in the center of town. Center upon. Her entire attention centered on her children. The choicest or most essential or most vital part of some idea or experience. The piece of ground in the outfield directly ahead of the catcher. He hit the ball to deep center. American football. The position of the player on the line of scrimmage who puts the ball in play. It is a center's responsibility to get the football to the quarterback. A position on a basketball team of the player who participates in the jump that starts the game. Basketball. The person who plays center on a basketball team. Ice hockey. The person who plays center on a hockey team. Of or belonging to neither the right nor the left politically or intellectually. Politically moderate persons, centrists. The middle of a military or naval formation. They had to reinforce the center. The position on a hockey team of the player who participates in the face-off at the beginning of the game. Put a harness. Gear consisting of ropes etc. supporting a ship's masts and sails. Gear used in fishing. Accept as a challenge. I'll tackle this difficult task. American football. A position on the line of scrimmage. It takes a big man to play tackle. American football. Grasping an opposing player with the intention of stopping by throwing to the ground. Seize and throw down an opponent player, who usually carries the ball. The person who plays that position on a football team. The right tackle is a straight A student. American football. The person who plays tailback. American football. The position of the offensive back on a football team who lines up farthest from the line of scrimmage. American football. The position of the offensive back who lines up behind or outside the end. Football. The person who plays wingback.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.